Hey, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about the inflammatory bowel disease. So, this inflammatory bowel disease is the bowel disease due to the inflammation in the large intestine. So, let's understand about that. So, this is a microbiome are present in the large intestine. The microbiome dysbiosis will lead to cause inflammation and inflammatory bowel syndrome or inflammatory bowel disease. So basically, it's the collection of the disease, the multiple disease. So a type of inflammatory bowel syndrome is Crohn's disease can affect any part of GIT, and the ulcerative colitis only large intestine, rectum and the large intestine, where the rectum is present. So start from the rectum, lead to large intestine, the whole. But anyhow, the causes of the inflammatory bowel syndrome can be genetic and immune system dysregulation, attacks foreign invaders mistakenly, and the foreign invaders mistakenly cause inflammation. So T regulatory cell will not regulate this inflammation, and in this way, the progression of the inflammation will occur. Environmental factors also involved. On the other hand, the symptom can be abdominal pain, diarrhea, fatigue, and rectal bleeding, which that is same like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. On the other hand, it can be stopped due to the lifestyle changes. So the lifestyle changes can decrease the inflammatory bowel syndrome, like the stress manage, exercise, ketogenic diet. In this video, we will understand about the whole pathophysiological aspect of the inflammatory bowel disease or syndrome. So the syndrome means the multiple type of the disease involved in the inflammatory bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease. So that is why it is known as the inflammatory bowel syndrome. This is the epithelial cell of the large intestine, and inside is the lumen here, which that show the outside, but inside is the lamina propria, where the immune cell reside. So the lamina propria contain a innate immune cell like the dendritic cell, macrophage, natural killer cell, etc. This is the systemic circulation, the blood, where the absorption of the nutrient will occur. So let's understand here is the commensal microbiota as well as the other pathogen. So in this, the toll-like receptor will receive the antigen from the pathogen, like the toll-like receptor, and here is the mucinous layer barrier as a innate immune barrier, which that barrier is very important. So this barrier is known as the innate barrier, which that already present when birth. So this is the tight junction which that not allow to move inside the bacteria and pathogen. So this barrier will disrupt. How it is possible? Let's understand about that all things. So this disruption is not first, but the pathogen recognition through auto-like receptor, even the commensal bacteria, microbiota. So in this, the commensal bacteria is not harmful, but the dendritic cell, unfortunately, mistakenly, which that get the antigen, and in this the naive T cell will recognize via this antigen. So also the invasion of the microbes inside. So invasion of the microbes, basically, which that activated the macrophage to release both dendritic cell and the macrophage, the cytokines. Cytokine can be interleukin 1, 6, 12, 23, and tumor necrosis factor alpha. These inflammatory cytokines recruit the T helper 0, CD4 plus naive T cell. This naive T cell basically will activate. After this activation to proliferate into the three type of the cell, like the T helper 2, 4 and T regulatory cell. This interleukin production for the T helper 2 cell activation is the interleukin 2 and interleukin 4, while for the T helper 4, interleukin 4, TGF beta. So this transcription factor is GATA3 for the T helper 2 and T helper 4, the IRF4 and PU1, and T regulatory cell for the FOXP3 protein. So in this way, here is the endothelial cell, basically attach the T cell, naive T cell, through a mad CAM1 molecule adhesion with the Q4B beta 4, which that will lead to recruit into the lamina propria. So anyhow, in this way, the interleukin 4, 5 and 13 produced from the T helper 2 cell after the transcription from the gene GATA3. On the other hand, the IRF4 will transcribe to translate into the interleukin 9 cytokines. On the other hand, the T regulatory cell, which does not produce interleukin 10 and TGF beta due to the dysregulation, unfortunately. In this way, not maintenance, but if the maintenance, so it will inhibit the disruption of tight junction. But in this way, this all interleukin a natural killer T cell, the CD8, also produce the interleukin 5 and 13, lead to disrupt the tight junction, and in this the tight junction will disrupt, lead to permeability increase, and in this way the pathogen will invade. The cycle will continue and chronic inflammation will begin. The CXCL1, 3 and 10 also produced from the lamina propria, unfortunately, to produce the interleukin 8, also the CXCL8 from the endothelial cell to recruit the leukocyte, and this leukocyte will lead to perpetuate inflammation cycle, and in this the further adhesion through the MADCAM1 molecule with the Q4 beta 7 with the endothelial cell to recruitment and move into the lamina propria to further progression and proliferation of the T helper 0 CD4 to proliferate into the T helper 2 and T helper 4 cell, and in this the inflammation will progress, and this inflammation more inflame immune cells activation and pathogenesis will occur. So remember about that things. Basically, the T regulatory cell will inhibit the disruption of the tight junction and not allow the pathogen move inside, while this inhibition, the inhibition and T regulatory cell inhibition will lead to inhibit the interleukin 10 and the interleukin 15 and transforming growth factor beta, and in this way the permeability increase. Toll-like receptor from the dendritic cell unfortunately recognize the commensal bacteria, which that is not harmful. So in this way the inflammation will progress. So the diagnosis can be blood test, colonoscopy, and the poop test as well as the physical exam. I hope you make sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video for this one. Bye.